Hey! I picked this video because they actually talk to the trainer in this one, which I like, because when they talk to the celebrity, they often don't know what's going on, which, hey, I mean, they're just paid to be like, do this, do that. But the trainer, nutrition coach, or whatever he is, they generally know a little bit more, and I think there's a lot of good stuff in this video. So let's get into it.
When working on a movie, there's always 3 cycles. There's the bulk up or build up phase. It's the cutting phase or cycle, and then it's the maintenance while filming.
Yeah, for most people, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time, especially if you're not like super trained. But if you're, James going for a movie and you want to put on as much muscle as possible, it's more optimal to just eat in a little calorie surplus, gain some muscle along with a little bit of fat, and then remove the fat before you start filming.
In the bulking phase, you want to gain as much muscle mass as possible, and you want to make sure that you're not losing body fat. I'm a big believer not gaining too much body fat as well, but a couple of percentage might be good. From beginning to end, James gained about 16 pounds in 14 weeks.
Which I highly doubt all of that is going to be muscle. You're probably not going to gain over a pound of muscle a week unless, of course, you were on performance-enhancing drugs.
James' protein sources during the build-up phase was mainly lamb, beef, chicken, and eggs. His primary carbohydrates were cold potatoes. You boil them, you let them go cold because it slows the GI index down.
So that is true. If you take any starch, not just potatoes, but rice, pasta, whatever, you cook it, you cool it down, it goes through starch retrogradation, which is definitely useful for people who have insulin resistance, diabetes, that sort of thing. If you don't have that, there's really no need to do it. It will lower the calories slightly, but not all that much.
Brown rice, farro, barley, and quinoa.
All of those are great. My favorite is definitely farro. And brown rice, man, brown rice still gets touted as so much better than white rice, but the differences are so small, so I'm just going to mention it again. Eat whatever rice you like.
Fat sources would be unsalted nuts, avocado, and fish oil.
So nuts are great, one of my favorite, but unless you're really trying to watch your sodium, you can definitely get them salted. I mean, 1 serving of these Blue Diamond salt and vinegar. Oh, so good. They only have 140 milligrams of sodium. I know some people get them unsalted. That way they don't consume a whole bunch of them because, when you don't salt them, they don't taste as good. I'm definitely getting them salted though. So good. And then fish oil. I used to take it, but I stopped taking it after seeing more research on it. It was just very underwhelming. Like, it may have benefit, but I've also seen some research linking it to atrial fibrillation, which isn't great. So I would just say get it from the whole fish when you can.
Vegetables. With every meal, we're trying to get some good greens in as well. The more color, the better. Actually, more nutrients. So red and green vegetables as much as possible.
I mean, that's great, but with like 90% of Americans not eating enough vegetable, I'll literally just say any vegetable.
During the build-up phase, I wanted James to eat breakfast as soon as possible in the morning. So this is a typical breakfast that James would have. 4 to 5 eggs, some turkey bacon, sweet potato, and broccoli. Eat the whole egg. There's a lot of nutrients in the yolk.
Yeah, most of the nutrients are in the egg yolk. It's just also where most of the calories is. So when people are trying to lose weight, that's why they often go with egg whites.
With this, he would also eat a couple of Vasa crisp breads, which is really high in fiber, slow carb, and low in sugar.
Yeah, any sort of cracker that has fiber in it is great because then you can also put other stuff on it as well, like cheese or hummus or whatever.
3 hours after breakfast, James would have a snack, which would consist of protein, ideally chicken or beef, sometimes shrimp, and a good fat source, and another Vasa crisp bread or Finn crisp. 3 hours later, James would have lunch, which would normally consist of 2 fistfuls of either lamb or beef, and 2 fistfuls of a slow carb and some good fats, and a ton of veggies on the side.
Using your fist as a reference is great because when you say like a serving of this vegetable, people are like, I don't know what that is. Then you say a cup and they're like, okay, I kind of got an idea what a cup looks like. But you say a fist and you just look at it.
3 hours later after lunch, James would have a snack again. Something protein based, like these turkey meatballs right here. And many times we would sprinkle some nuts on to get the fiber high and some energy into it.
So that sounds great, but I've never been like, oh, let me go grab a snack. Proceeds to make meatballs.
So 3 hours after the snack, James would have dinner. It would be about the same as lunch: beef, lamb, chicken, and some slow carbs and good fats, and a ton of veggies, once again.
So the thing I really like about all this is he doesn't get dogmatic about specific foods. He just says a protein, a carb, a vegetable, because you can really just swap it in and out to whatever you like, can afford, all of that stuff, you know?
Ideally, we would time the workout, so James would work out 2 hours after a meal and then eat right after a workout.
Obviously, the best time to work out is whenever you can, but I don't like to work out when I'm feeling super full or really hungry, so I typically go with like a simple carb before a workout, usually just like a banana or maybe like a Rice Krispie treat, whatever I can get.
Sometimes that wasn't realistic. Then I would make sure that James got some BCAAs that he would drink right after a workout.
Yeah, I used to be into the BCAAs, but the research, again, very underwhelming, so I stopped taking it. Just get protein.
A big part of this diet is tracking your macros, your protein, fat, and carbs. If you want to try this diet at home, it's much easier if you use your fists instead of start calculating calories and tracking your macros in a more specific way. So a good way of doing this at home is to have 3 to 4 eggs in the morning, any way you want it. 3 hours later, have a fistful of something protein-based. Lunch should be a fistful of protein and a fistful of slow carbs or good fat. Throw in 2 fistfuls of vegetables. 3 hours later, another snack, fistful of something protein-based. Dinner should be the same thing as lunch, so a fistful of protein and a fistful of energy, good fats or slow carbs, and the vegetables.
Again, back to the fist reference, and I like this especially for people starting out, because as soon as you start talking about counting calories and all that, a lot of people are already out. So yeah, just start with this. Well, eggs are great. You definitely don't have to start with them. I'm more of an oatmeal guy. I do like to add some protein powder or peanut butter powder for protein though. And while having snacks that have protein in them, great idea. I mean, I love me some protein bars. Those little cheeses are great, like the Baby Bell cheese or whatever. It doesn't have to have a ton of protein. Like I love fruit. Oh, nuts. Also a great one. I mean, I guess they also have protein, but they got more fats. Overall though, I think this was a really great video. So get out there and, you know, fist your way to health. Nope. That's not good. That's bad. It's definitely not going on a shirt anytime soon, I'll tell you that much. Keep it.